Hey guys, Rexasor here and welcome to Patch Notes on the 4th of November 2025, an auspicious day within our yearly cycle. It is quite dark, as you can probably tell by the dark outline and the fact that there's a shadow like right there from the light that's on the other side of the room. That is the only thing illuminating me right now, and yet somehow this camera's picking up quite a bit. Also my hoodie, because it's quite cold, because it's November. I hope everyone's doing alright. I hope you all survived last week's very exciting Warhammer only topic. This week we're going to be talking about nothing Warhammer related at all. Anyway, what happened last week? Let me look at my calendar. Oh shit, I've rubbed off October. Fuck. Yeah, it's been a week. So after the tournament, it was kind of a long week of not really doing a whole lot. I went to do some Heresy on Thursday, which was a lot of fun. We did a doubles. That was fun. I am currently in the process of just painting a lot. Yesterday I painted 10 models, which is excessive. Usually I do about 5 a day, if that. When I do a painting session, I usually paint 5 models at a time. So doing 10 meant I did 2 sessions because we didn't have any D&D, and I needed that. It was good. We are getting close to finishing my Blood Angels, which is insane, considering the amount of models that I had. Like, I didn't have any Blood Angels at the start of the year. I didn't have any Blood Angels halfway through the year, actually. I think I only started getting them when Heresy released, which I think was July. I can't actually even remember when it started, but they're almost all painted. I still have like under 60 models to do, which when you do a session of 5 a day isn't all that much. It's less than 2 weeks worth of painting, but I'm definitely not going to be done in 2 weeks. I've got other stuff going on. That means I'm not going to be able to do painting sessions every day, but I'm really happy with how they're turning out, especially the second half, which is the I think I've already said I sprayed quite a bit of them red and I spread the rest of them white, and those that I am spraying white and then painting over just look so much better, and that's probably just because I'm not used to different colours. I'm using a lot of contrast, and with those that I painted red I wasn't using contrast, I was using regular paints, so just not used to it anymore. And I just prefer the look of contrast, and they don't look amazing. Like I've been seeing a lot of other people's paintings and stuff, and they don't have quite the same aesthetic, but I like my little Blood Angels, and I'm really looking forward to basing them. I think once I've based them, they're going to look so much better, because they currently don't. I also realised this year I've painted a ton. This time last year I'm pretty sure I didn't have any Custodes, and I've got a fully painted Custodes army, which I didn't have last year at all. So I've actually done a lot this year, and it's only because we get to November that I'm kind of figuring this out, because at the start of this year I did a recap, like 20 pictures of things I'd painted, and it was more or less Tyranids and a few Bretonnia. And I didn't really include any Chaos, which is weird because I finished all my Chaos last year at the end of the year, at least that I can remember. This year I've painted loads of Custodes, I painted a ton of Blood Angels, I've done a bunch of High Elves as well, so I've done a lot, which really goes to show just I should take more pictures of what the fuck I'm doing. But yeah, anyway, work is work, as it always is. On the weekend we went to a wedding. On the Saturday, it was in mid-Wales, and I say that because it literally was. It's like an hour north of Brecon, which is in the Banau Brecaniog, or as the English assholes call it, the Brecon Beacons. Yeah, it was good. So most weddings, every culture does weddings different, but most weddings, you have a sit-down meal, which is served by a kitchen staff that's within the venue, but there was no kitchen in this venue. It was in the middle of Wales. It was literally called the Sheep Shed, because it was a sheep shed that has been rebuilt or the word reconstituted comes to mind, but that's French. It's a very bastardization of the French. Either way, it was there's renovated. There we go. Fuck me. It was renovated to be a wedding venue, an events venue more so, but it didn't have a kitchen. So they got a food truck to drive up, and it served great food. And honestly, it was great. If you're planning a wedding and you don't know what to get because you've got no kitchen in your venue, get a fucking Greek food van because it slaps. Especially when it was really cold November. Yeah, crazy. Speaking of crazy, it's almost tomorrow will mark a year since my wife and I had our wedding celebrations. So that's gone by really fucking quickly. Next year we've got 2 weddings that we know are happening. There might be more, who knows. And then the year after we've got 1 wedding already in the books. So we've got wedding seasons galore, which is good. That's just the stage of our lives that we're at. Lots of weddings happening here, there and everywhere. The next big stage is children, and then the stage after that is funerals. So we're very much happy that we're in this stage of of everything. What else has been going on? Not a whole lot, to be honest. Yeah, I've been playing a bunch of Rogue Trader. I think I mentioned that last time. Rogue Trader is a CRPG made by Owlcat Games, who made things like Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. This is their first foray into the 40k universe, and so far really, really, really enjoying it. It's, I don't want to say even loosely based. It's like halfway based on the actual role-playing game, which I think is by Fantasy Flight Games, which I owned and played a bit when I was like a teen and didn't really understand how the hell role-playing games work. If I started a campaign now, I would definitely know more what I'm doing. But anyway, very true to both the role-playing game and the actual world itself. There's been some excellent writing. There's been some excellent moments. I'm bewildered by the scope and scale of the game, as well as the diversity in enemies. Like, they have gone out of their way to bring a huge diversity of enemies, of factions, and within the faction roster, the actual diversity is insane. Like, yesterday I went up against a Forge Fiend, and I was like, what the fuck? For those not in the know, Forge Fiend is like a Chaos Demon engine, which is, like, I think is one of the cooler models of the Chaos range, and I'm just like, what the hell is this doing in this game? But it's cool. I absolutely decimated them. I'm at a stage of the game where, like, my my characters are doing insane things, and it's a mixed bag. It's a huge game, so it is a mixed bag. You can tell there's various writers and various things that went on, and some storylines are definitely weaker than others. I'm nowhere near all of the storylines. I followed through a bunch of them so far, but I'm like 40, 50 hours in. Where am I? 55 hours in, and that's actually more like 48, 45 hours, because we did play like 7-ish hours as a multiplayer and then realized the game is not built for multiplayer, so I've just been playing it solo, but it's really fun. You can get really immersed in it. There's some really cool stuff. Yeah, really good. And also underneath it all, it has ship combat from the 40k universe, which is basically Battlefield Gothic. But so there's a game called Battlefield Gothic Armada 1 and 2. I hated them. I own them both because I thought, well, they were really cheap. They were like £2 when I got them because they were on sale. I really disliked playing that game because it was real time, and I think this is something that I found with a lot of games. I'm definitely a turn-based tactical guy. I love my turn-based stuff. XCOM 2 is my favorite game of all time, and like even Total War to an extent I really struggle with on a real time. I have to play like on slow speed a lot of the time. whereas when I was younger it wouldn't bother me as much. But as I've been getting older, I've been doing a lot more turn-based tactical stuff, hex-based things, old man games basically, and I think that Rogue Trader has this turn-based ship combat, which is based on Battlefield Gothic ship combat, loosely. Well, maybe not as loose as you would think. And I absolutely adore it. I'm like, wow, this is like one of the strongest part of the games. The game is strong all over, really, other than like the storylines, but the gameplay itself is very strong. And the ship combat is just amazing. I'm loving it. Every time I'm almost searching the Expanse just to be like, I want more ship combats, please, because it's really fun. So yeah, really disappointed because by playing it, I'm like, what? So people can make a turn-based Battlefield Gothic game. Why didn't they make that? Because I don't understand. I don't know. Do people really like the fast pace? I need to think of 75 different things that's happening, because I think that was the thing that I really didn't like about Battlefield Gothic, is the fact that I was always having to think stuff, whereas a turn-based I can sit, wait, and plan ahead. And I get that there are elements of, a good general, I guess, is always on the way, thinking here, there, and everywhere. But sometimes I just want a game where I can just be like, oh, I'm halfway through a turn, something's happened, I can just pause it and not care, and just leave it, and then come back and be like, okay, sit down, oh, this is what's happening, whatever. Whereas Battlefield Gothic, you're kind of like, I know there's a pause function, which basically serves the same way, but it's like, I can't do my actions then see what's happening to assess what I should do next. It's, I'm doing this thing and this thing is happening at the same time, which means I need to make sure that this thing isn't happening. And I don't know, it's a bit too much. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. But yeah, Rogue Trader, really, really fun. I think that's actually, I'm going to be really honest, guys, I think that's it. This weekend we are, unfortunately, I was supposed to play Warhammer on Saturday and Sunday. I'm only going to be playing it on Sunday, because Saturday's tickets are not, they're already completely booked out, because there's an event on the weekend, which is really frustrating. But we managed to get all the tickets for Sunday quickly, because we're doing one of our Old Worlds get-togethers. I think it's going to be like 10 of us, maybe, which is pretty cool. We're just doing short 1,000 point battles. I am stepping away from High Elves and stepping away from Chaos for a bit and going back to Bretonnia, the title of my next album. And originally I wanted to bring 2 trebuchets and a bunch of infantry, and then I looked and was like, oh yeah, 1,000 points, I can only bring 1 trebuchet, fuck. So I'm actually just bringing a really traditional Bretonnian army. I say traditional, I'm bringing Errantry Crusade, but I'm bringing a 1 trebuchet, and then I'm bringing an asshole army. I'm bringing 11 knights with a paladin and 3 Pegasus knights with a baron. So it is an asshole list, but I wanted to bring a trebuchet and I wasn't allowed to, so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to be mean instead. I'm going to bring cavalry. Also because when you play Bretonnia, you have to bring knights. You can bring them on foot, but why play the horse faction if you're not going to bring any horses? So I'm going to be doing that next week. Heresy on Thursday, Heresy on this weekend again. We're approaching in 2-3 weekends time next week. Yeah, 3 weekends time we are going to a Horus Heresy event. So by that point I want my Blood Angels, at least the ones I'm taking, to be fully painted and fully based. And the issue that I have is that I still don't know what I'm taking, which is why I kind of just want to get it all painted. I think I have an idea of what I want to bring. I know what I'm definitely bringing. Legion Champion plus his retinue, because they have done so much work for me since I've started bringing them. They're so fun to use. Love a good Legion Champion. But yeah, I just need to figure out what else I'm bringing around that. So yeah, big yawn. Yeah, I think that's about it, to be honest. D&D, we haven't done it in a while. We did it last weekend, last Monday, the Monday Session crew. They had a big dragon fight, which we've been ramping up for a few weeks, and they finally did it. They did it in 1 session, which I was intending it to be a 1 session thing, but obviously shenanigans can happen, bad rolls on both sides, that kind of thing. But happy we managed to do it in 1 session. really cool moments happened. Two of the players almost died, so I'm happy with that because it meant there was actually some, like, oh shit. Considering they all had a long rest, this was a fight where they all started with full everything, which is not how you're supposed to do boss fights in D&D, really. But this was a particularly devastating boss with one of the best effects I think I've ever seen in a stat block, which is resistant to all damage from attacks not made with advantage, which is a really, really cool mechanic. So yeah, really, really cool. And they're done with that, so I can wrap up the story. Didn't play yesterday because 2 players were away, and it's kind of a pivotal moment, so I wanted everyone to be present for this. So next Monday we will wrap that up, and hopefully everyone will be able to focus on the story elements of stuff, and then we can move on to the next big part. Why am I yawning so much? Yeah, that's about it. That's all I got to say, to be honest. There's not really much else. I guess I will see you next week to give you a full rundown of what happened on the weekend. And just, yeah, that's basically all I've been doing. So anyway, I hope everyone's doing fine, and I will speak to you all next time, soon, whenever. Ta.